Are you staring at the clock thinking, my toddler just skipped a nap again, so I guess we're a one nap family now? And then bedtime turns into a gremlin party and you regret everything. Hi, I'm Treasure, and I help exhausted, high-achieving parents get out of sleep chaos and into a plan that actually fits real life. Let's start with the biggest relief. The 2-to-1 nap transition is not a prize your toddler wins for being advanced. It's just a timing shift, and doing it too early is how you accidentally create the exact night waking you were trying to avoid. By the way, if you want this mapped out in a way that makes sense at 2 in the morning, download my free guide, The Modern Parent Sleep Roadmap. The link is in the video description and on the screen. Now let's talk about what's actually going on under the surface. This transition usually happens when your toddler simply cannot build enough sleepy pressure for 2 good naps anymore. So one of the naps starts getting weird and your whole day starts feeling like a tiny sleep negotiation. There are a few common patterns that create this exact problem. One pattern is the second nap turns into a daily battle, even when you try your usual tricks. Not a random bad day, a real pattern where they stall, they roll, they protest, and the nap just will not happen. Another pattern is it takes forever to fall asleep for both naps, and bedtime starts creeping later and later. You're not imagining it. Your toddler is basically saying, I'm not tired yet, but I will be in approximately 1 hour right when you needed me to be asleep. Another big one is nights start getting strange. Early morning waking, split nights where they're awake and ready to socialize at an ungodly hour, or a sudden increase in bedtime battles when nothing else changed. That can be a sign there is simply too much total daytime sleep for what their body needs right now. Now here's the part most parents miss. A nap strike is not always readiness. Sometimes it's a temporary wobble from teething, learning a new skill, travel, sickness, separation anxiety, or daycare chaos. In those phases, dropping to 1 nap can backfire. Because they still need the sleep, they just cannot access it easily. So here's a simple way to tell the difference. If your toddler skips a nap, but then melts down by late afternoon, gets clumsy, gets frantic, or starts doing that wired second wind thing, that is usually not readiness. That is an overtired spiral wearing a tiny human costume. Now let me show you the smallest changes that make the biggest difference, starting right away. The goal is not to force a perfect 1 nap schedule overnight. The goal is to stop the daily whiplash and protect nights while your toddler's sleep needs shift. If naps are getting messy, but you're not sure they can truly handle 1 long stretch, try a gentle middle ground. You keep 2 nap opportunities, but you make the first nap slightly later and you keep the second nap very protected and very short, just enough to bridge to bedtime without pushing bedtime too late. This is where a lot of parents accidentally sabotage themselves. They let that second nap run long because they want a break, and I get it, you deserve the break. But then bedtime gets delayed, your toddler does not have enough sleepy pressure, and suddenly you're dealing with bedtime gymnastics and overnight wake-ups. Now, if your toddler really is ready, the day starts to look different. They can stay happily awake through the morning without falling apart. They take 1 solid midday nap and bedtime becomes easier again, not harder. A quick word for daycare parents, because this is where the chaos really gets personal. Daycare often moves toddlers to 1 nap on their schedule, not your toddler's readiness timeline. If that's you, you're not failing, you're adapting. On daycare days, your best friend is an earlier bedtime even if it feels emotionally rude. You can still have connection time after work without sacrificing the entire night. A shorter but calm evening, where you get a clean bedtime, often beats a long evening that ends in overtired chaos. And if your toddler is sensitive, easily overstimulated, or gets dysregulated by a loud day, this transition can hit harder. Those kiddos often need more wind-down support and an even stronger bedtime anchor because their nervous system carries the whole day into the night. Now I want to share the mistake that keeps parents stuck in the transition for weeks. They flip back and forth day by day with no plan, so the body never stabilizes. 1 nap days create overtiredness, 2 nap days create undertiredness, and nights become the battleground. So instead, think in seasons, not single days. If you're mostly on 2 naps, you're nudging timing and protecting bedtime. If you're mostly on 1 nap, you're protecting that midday nap and using bedtime as the safety net while things settle. And here's when I'd stop guessing and get extra support. If you've been in this limbo for weeks, naps are falling apart, nights are getting worse, and you're functioning on caffeine and hope, it is time for a plan that's tailored to your toddler and your real schedule. I have a master's in social work, I'm a certified pediatric sleep consultant, and I'm the CEO of Rested and Renewed Pediatric Sleep Consulting. And yes, I'm also a toddler mom, so I know the emotional warfare of a tiny person refusing sleep while rubbing their eyes like a cartoon. If you want a calm, specific plan you can actually follow, you can book a consultation with me, and if you're not ready for that yet, start with my free Modern Parent Sleep Roadmap. Now let's close the loop with what you can expect once the transition clicks. Bedtime stops feeling like a nightly debate. Overnight sleep gets more predictable, and you stop spending your whole day trying to solve a puzzle with missing pieces. If this gave you that deep exhale of, okay, I'm not crazy, the next video is going to help you spot the one hidden sleep pattern that keeps nights messy, even when your schedule looks right. Tap the screen to watch my next video.
Before you go, download Treasure's free guide, hit subscribe, and watch the next one. You'll be so glad you did.